It is Thursday, the 24th of October, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. Today we are talking about the penultimate song on the Broken Bride EP, Part 3, The Lamb and the Dragon. This is the longest song in the EP. It's about 8 minutes, I think, which is wild. There's a lot of different bits to it. There's a lot to discuss with it. So I don't think I need to give it too much of a setup. Just to remind you, the narrator has fixed his machine and gone forward in time from the dinosaur past to hopefully go back to that morning in May and save his wife. And that's where the song picks up, after we had seen a glimpse of a distant apocalypse. Don't think we need to give any more setup. If you've been listening this whole time, you understand what the story is all about. So let's just go listen to it right now and then come back in 8 minutes and talk about it. There it is, the big climactic explosion of this EP. I love how it goes through so many different kind of styles in the song, but they all kind of serve a purpose within the song. And also this song is so full of biblical references, more than any of the others in the album, really. It's all Book of Revelation stuff. So it starts off as such a like big heavy metal sort of sound. Like it really sounds like, I was going to name a band, but Metallica and Iron Maiden were the first in my head, and not really either of them, honestly. Maybe more Iron Maiden-y. It's just this big, like the big crushing notes, the ksh, ksh, and then the little, like, the kind of choir going, ah, and the guitar joining with the din 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 din. I just love how it's building this weird tension, and then the first verse is sung so quickly, so rapid the raptors as coursers they came, like it's so, anyway, so rapid the raptors as coursers they came, while the scratching and screaming I barely escaped, while the fuel cells they drained far too fast, I am dragged like worms on a hook through the hole to the blackness beyond, at the end of days where the world bleeds and burns. So his time machine unfortunately fucked up again. He was running away from the raptors, and he got into his machine, turned it on. The fuel cells drained far too fast, which presumably just means that he couldn't use it properly. So instead of going to 1989, he ended up doing the opposite of what he did before and ending up at the apocalypse that we talked about in Save Our City. Can't catch a break, this guy. I love the way this sequence ends, by the way, with the at the end of days where the world bleeds and burns. Like, it's just so bah, 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 bah. And then there's silence. And then it becomes like a cowboy song. Like, I'm just imagining Cowboy Andy from Cowboy Bebop riding around to this, you know? And so we get, the sun is black as sackcloth made of hair. The stars have fallen to the earth, mountains tearing from the ground. Look at these people hiding from the red raindrops while earthquakes shake the broken timber of this burning town. There's poison in the water, the ocean's blood has turned to slime and gotten hard. All the fish and whales are corpses on the scab. In the darkness, soldiers gnaw their tongues in pain, you see. So help me God, at the end of time, they're screaming on their knees, oh let them die, oh let them die. So the time traveler ends up at the end of time and he sees these horrible things happening. You know, the ocean has turned to blood, it's raining blood, there's earthquakes, there's poison in the water, all these things, there's this dead whales, you know. He mentions the soldiers gnawing their tongues in pain, which I believe is referencing the zombies from Save Our City, and they're screaming, so help me God, at the end of time. And he says, oh let them die, oh let them die. Like, he's like, just please let them die, don't let them keep suffering like this, you know. And I love how with the oh let them die, it turns back into a metal song. Oh, let them die. And the chorus, the wrath of the lamb, the martyrs cry, break the 7 seals, let the horsemen ride. The soldiers bear the royal crest and scream into the sky, he will come, the dragon's on the rise. So this is, it's just one long biblical reference. The lamb breaking the 7th seal and releasing the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. That's a whole thing from the Book of Revelation. I assume that the lamb is supposed to be the time traveler in this instance. The lamb fighting, I mean, it is called the Lamb and the Dragon, right? Especially because Jesus is, of course, the Lamb of God, and it's his second coming which triggers the apocalypse, and in this instance, this is the narrator returning, I guess, in a way, so he's kind of Christ-like in that way, I suppose. And then the soldiers bear the royal crest and scream into the sky, he will come, the dragon's on the rise. So again, this is referencing King Simius, representing the dragon, which is Satan, and the zombies are calling out that he will come, right? Then the second verse starts with a quote, the king survived though his throat was cut, but they say he's the chosen one. He leads our men from Babylon, the rebellion's worldly son. Against the tyrant we have joined with him as soldiers. He tells me this while he shakes a bit. He's staring at his gun. The painful stings of flying things have worn away his flesh and popped his eyes. At the blackness he lashes out and cries, "You cowards and your wrathful gods, you will see what power means. When the dragon comes, his will be done, and the fires you'll be cleaned. Oh, let him rise. Oh, let him rise." So the king, of course, representing the beast or the dragon, in Revelation, one of the heads of the beast seemed to have had a fatal wound, but the fatal wound had been healed, and that's referenced here with his throat being cut, but he still survived. He leads our men from Babylon, again, Babylon being the location of the Revelation. Against the tyrant we have joined with him as soldiers. There's all these people worshipping the beast. He tells them this while he shakes his bit, and yeah, he's staring at his gun. The painful stings of flying things have worn away his flesh and popped his eyes. You know, something has damaged him. I assume, because he tells me this, I don't know if this is supposed to be the king, but it's someone, I would imagine it's some sort of zombie again, because it's, worn away his flesh and popped his eyes. And then, "You cowards and your wrathful God will see what power means. When the dragon comes, his will be done, and the fires you'll be cleaned." It's so typically prophetic, in like a culty way. And then, "Oh, let him rise. Oh, let him rise." Just put in "Awaken" by Death Clock here. It's like a demon summoning. It's literally what it is. And we get the chorus again, which is the same. And then there's like an instrumental breakdown. And then the bridge is, "I watch these people fall. The dragon shrieks and burns it all. I flip the circuits on. I've got dragons of my own. The portal glows and my machine's destroyed." So the implication here, and Andrew Volpe has confirmed this, is that the time traveler sees the dragon destroying things. So he turns on his time machine, and pterodactyls come in from the dinosaur past where he was, and they go through the machine and kill the dragon. And this is all well and good, but in the process, it destroys his time machine. And then after this, we get the chorus melody from part 1 played on the organ, which I love so much. It's such a good touch. Instead of the "I crashed before the birth of Christ," you get the organ going like do 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 do. It's so good. I love the way that evokes, I just love leitmotifs. I love repeating melodies throughout albums and stuff. And then you get this like harp music, and the next verse is spoken by what are implied to be angels. They say, "The traveler has saved their souls from the destroyer of worlds. Then why does his heart still scream, rise and speak?" So, the time traveler destroyed the dragon. Why is he still sad? And the time traveler says, "I couldn't save her. I know she will die. But please, if I could only tell her goodbye. All I want is just one more day, that morning in May." So he's saying here, I'm glad that I saved the world and everything, but that's not what I was in it for. I was just trying to see my wife again. I know I couldn't save her. I know she will die, but please, I just want to tell her goodbye once more, that morning in May, right? And then he goes, "I've fought reptilian monsters. I've crossed a bloody sea just to meet you here, and now I'm coming home, my dear." So the angels basically agree, and they're like, "We can't, send you back in time to save your wife, but we can send you back in time to see your wife one more time and say goodbye to her." And after this line, the melody becomes the melody from the end of Save Our City, when it was going like and there was a bell going bong. So here it's on piano. You have it going dong do 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 do. Again, I love repeating themes. I love the synchronicity of that. And yeah, the light is warm outside at dawn. The garden has no weeds, no grave beneath the tree. Through the silent house, my love, after all, curled up in a ball. There you are. So he knows he's back in time because there's no weeds in the garden and there's no grave beneath the tree. So he knows she's still alive. He walks through the house and she's there curled up in bed. I love how gentle the ending of this song is. Like the music is, still in a minor key on the piano. The do, 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 do. It's very ominous, but just how gentle he goes, "There you are." I love it so much. It's so emotional. What a cliffhanger, hey? The story will be continued in part 4 tomorrow. The Lamb and the Dragon for a while was a song I kind of dismissed just because of how long it is. And it's not one I listen to often outside of the context of the EP, unlike parts 1 and 4 and Save Our City. But I do love its place in the EP because it has these different styles. It has the cowboy part, it has the metal part, and then of course the emotional ending, which leads directly into part 4. So I do really like it actually, as the sum of its parts. That's going to be it for today. Tune in tomorrow for the gripping finale of Broken Bride. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell other people about this show. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
And so we get the sun is black as sackcloth made of hair. The stairs. These horrible things happening. You know, the ocean has turned to blood. It's raining blood. Slayer may have been a better comparison, honestly. There's earthquakes. There's poison in the water. All these things. There's this dead whales. You know. And then Hideo Kojima reference. The king survived those when the dragon crumbs his crumbs.